Good morning and welcome to the Forest of Dean Cycling Centre. We're going to do the Verderers today. It's a bit grey and misty, a bit damp, a bit drizzly, but we're going to give it a bash. So while I'm here, Caroline is going to go and do a 6.5 mile run, and we're going to time it to get back to the calf at the same time, hopefully, but we'll see. So here we are. Calf in the background, and the bike is looking clean, but that's not going to last. Here we go. So this is the start of all the trails. Information board. And this is the one we're doing today. The Verderers Trail. It's a blue trail. So good for general mountain biking. Not too difficult. Although there are a few bits where you have to be careful. As I can tell you from personal experience, having smashed my wrist up on the dragon's tail, which is the bit at the end, but more of that later. First off, we have this kind of unfinished forest road section. Which is a bit of a pain, but it's a means to an end. We all put up past the old Bob's Trail on the right here, which is quite a new, very beginner's little track. Very nicely finished. It's all quite smooth. No real issues there at all. But very good for an introduction to some of the features you find on the Verderers. So this is the start, the official start of the Verderers Trail. 7 miles, highly rated. Let's go. Now, it's been raining quite heavily everywhere since Christmas or before, so I expect there will be a few bits that are quite wet, quite soggy, a few puddles here and there, but mainly it drains very well because it's in the forest, so it's got really good drainage. A little bit of air coming up. Berms. So I normally wouldn't be doing this this track on my own. My old chum Hal would be doing it with me. He's not here today. So I'm giving it a go. Yeah. Nice to get out of the house and get a bit of fresh air. Back onto the forest road again. On the road again. There are a few little places where you can deviate onto the various other trails around the place. You can get onto old Bob's trail here, and some of the red stuff is coming up. But we are going to do the famous blue trail today, Verderers. So we're sticking with that, and so we should. I thought there'd be more puddles here. It's obviously drained very well. This being the sort of lower end of the trail. We've got some climbing to do coming up. Speaking of which, here comes our first bit of climbing. It's blowing the cobwebs off. A bit of standing up makes it easier. You've got to keep your wits about you on this trail. So at any point in time you could be attacked by a squirrel. They just seem to be very kamikaze, run out on you for no apparent reason. And this bit is a bit slidey, slippery underneath the slaty rocks there. Just gotta trust in your bike. Oh, a bit of tree root, a bit slippy. Lots of little switchbacks to keep you focused. Few little bumpy bits. One of the junctions with the red, go down for red, stay on the top for blue. We're climbing again. We're basically zigzagging up the side of this hillside. A little bit high there. And down we go here. So hold it up. Easy to go off the edge there. Tight left and away. So lovely bit this, just sit back and relax. A bit more air. Some rollers, a few berms, nice bit of single track. Sweeping through. Nasty jump there. Hard on the arms. And over the other side. Oh, back into the climb again. I think this is my 4th attempt at filming the Verderers. What I did, I bought a GoPro looky likey, which was quite cheap on Amazon, and tried it in a few different scenarios, on a chest strap, on a helmet, on the handlebars even. For whatever reason, it just didn't do the job. So I got myself, I didn't want to splash out and get a very expensive GoPro just for one thing. So I got myself a cheap second-hand older GoPro, which is what you're watching this, which is what this has been filmed on. And this is my first attempt with that. I have it on a chest harness, so we'll see what the footage looks like when it comes out. Hopefully it's interesting, gives you a good idea of what the trail has and the kind of skill level you need to get through it, which, to be honest, isn't high. You don't have to muller the jumps and the rollers at the end. You can always have your wheels in contact with the ground, which is what I do most of the time. I've tried jumping, it doesn't agree with me, and my bones can testify for that. But I think the Verderers is a cracking trail. It's got a little bit of everything, and no matter how many times I've come and done it, there's always bits of it that feel like you haven't been on it before. It just changes with the forest, with the seasons, with the weather, and it's great because of that. But it does make you work. And I would say you work just as hard in the downhill sections as you do in the uphill. Of which there's another quite steep one coming up here. There is a little shortcut in this bit, which I'm not going to do today. I've done it a few times, just a little rocky red section. These, it's just on the right here, just up there. It's quite tricky. If you don't tackle it in the right gear, you're coming off. You've got to be in the right gear, as in not the right gear, but the right bike gear, gearing. It's almost impossible to change it once you hit that little section. Sorry for all the sniffles. I am sniffling because this just blows the cobwebs right out of you. So Al's missing today, otherwise he'd be here. But he's, well, I didn't even know I was doing this till this morning, so wife was going to go for a run. So I said, oh, I can put my bike on the back and go down to the forest. She said, yeah, go on then. Right, this is a kind of open bit where I like to get a bit of a drink in, if I can find my drinking straw. Where's my tube? Oh, there it is. Anyway, Al's got a big event coming up, but he can't be doing this in case he endangers his health in some way. Which is absolutely understandable. So I thought, it'd be a good chance for me to try and do the filming then. While I'm on my own, I can rattle around, talk to myself, talk to the trees, bit of whispering grass. Quite often see some deer as well as squirrels in this part of the forest. It's a little bit quiet this morning, haven't seen any yet. Let's have a little look around. Well, we just coast down here. I'm struggling this morning. I've lost a couple of pounds, and I put my shorts on and they're falling off me. So I'm really struggling to keep my shorts on. So it's a good thing the camera's pointing the other way, really. They're going to be around my ankles by the time I get back to the cycle centre. Back to the cafe. Very well earned cup of coffee. Now this bit is pretty cool. Let's go. Here it is, here it comes, here it comes. Watch this bit. This bit is rocking. Yeah, bugger. That's like a G-force separator right there. And up we go. More climbing. So I'm hoping to do this non-stop, so I don't have to do any video editing. I'll just chuck it up on YouTube for my thousands of followers to enjoy. Normally it's flight sim content. But something a bit different today. We rattled down. Yeah. And up again. There we go. Surprisingly little in the way of, oh, let's go rocky way, rocky. Little in the way of wildlife on view this morning. Oh yeah, that was hurtling towards the tree for no apparent reason. So some parts are really nice and smooth, some little switchbacks through the trees, really nice. Some parts get a little bit more gnarly, but nothing too bad. There's normally a puddle here somewhere. Where's a puddle gone? Oh, it's pretty dry. For the amount of rain we've had, it's really surprising how dry it is actually. Whoa, bumpy bit. There we go. So some little berms. Way. Gotta carry some speed through here. And out onto the track. trail is actually in really good condition right now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So this bit coming up is one of my favourite bits of the trail. If only because it's really dark. So we go into a particularly dark bit of the forest just for a few hundred metres. Here it comes. It's always dark, it's always very spooky, this bit. And I love it. There we go, that's all it was. Oh, it's a squirrel. Oh. And then it opens out. It's quite unusual to not see anybody at all on the trail. There's normally people out and about, walking dogs, just having a walk, cycling. There's nobody around at all this morning. Oh yeah, yeah. So I'm hoping the footage comes out alright. If not, I'm very sorry. Two options here. You can go left and do a different ending, or this is the traditional ending through the trees, which takes you onto the Dragon's Tail, the infamous Dragon's Tail, which the first time I did it, all I could hear was screaming and hooling, and people were properly squealing. And it is great, but you've got to be careful on it. Don't try and do double roller jumps, because you end up smashing your wrists to pieces, which has consequences. So this is the traditional ending. The other way, if you go left at that Fire Road junction, there's another couple of elements to the Blue Trail which have been added, which are great. It's very fast, very flowing, and my shorts are nearly around my ankles. So at some point up there, I'm gonna have to hike them up, and we'll get down onto the Fire Road here. And there we go. Right, I'm just going to stop for a second and try and pull them off a bit. There we go. And off. So there's a couple of little Fire Road bits added on, just to join the various parts up. So we're about 5.2 miles in, a couple of miles to go, and we come across this little bit through some woods, which is nice and fast and flowing. And excuse me if I don't talk much this bit. I'm going to focus. Oh, proper little top awesome bit that. You just got to hold on. That's another one. Flies through the trees. Whoop. And so, viewers, we come to the drop-in for the pièce de résistance. You see the arrow pointing left. However, we have to go up here. This is the drop-in for the Dragon's Tail, the bit. It's nuts. This is what we all come for. It's just up and down, rollers sweeping, up, 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 ay, ay, ay. And more, up and down, into the wall, and up again, up, yeah. Ah, it's nuts. A little bit of pedaling just to keep us going. You're coming up to that. So the next bit is the bit where I smashed my wrist, had a bit of it off, tried to jump to the rollers and didn't do it very well. So here we go, just at the end of this little straight. And furious. So here it is. Nearly went again. Don't try and this one. Wow, I've got some air there. Unexpected air. Going up and down. And here, a big berm coming up on the bottom left. Nearly on the top of it. Nearly at that tree. And the berm. So, Oh yeah. Back in the saddle. A little bit greedy. Hey, squirrel! There's always one. And that was a brief tour of the Verderers. This is just the run-in back to the calf, which is also quite good fun. It's got a few nice little bits on it, but in the end, it's the run to the calf. So if anybody wants to join me on a Verderers trip any morning, you're very welcome. And just get yourself a bike and come along. Do it, man, do it. So we'll stop it there.